Day 7 of 30 pitches in 30 days, and on this day I'm gonna pitch a project called Blade City. It's sort of a fantasy story in the vein of Game of Thrones, set on an alternate Earth where we lost World War II. And Japan had a major influence on the East Coast. And so today in Brooklyn, there are these major gangs, and it's like Black, Latino, Asian, all kinds of people wearing suits, dapper suits, and they got swords. And Bushido law is law, like you can kill in self-defense, and there are no guns really. Like, guns exist, except that they're so illegal that criminal organizations would rather use swords and knives. Because this is how the laws are in Korea and Japan. This is how they actually function today. That's how gangs work. They rarely use guns. So you create that same system here. And in the story, there's like two major groups that run Brooklyn: the Syndicate and the Klan, right? And the Klan is made up of famous families, and it's an incorporated entity. It's a legal entity with members of famous families that are, tied together. And the Syndicate is a group of people that come from no families, that do not come from famous families, but were formed together by this guy Hassan, who ended up, forming this other group. And he's sort of rival to the Klan, Yamamoto, Jason Yamamoto and the Klan. There's a whole backstory because they used to be best friends, but now, they're in separate groups. And the pilot episode, there's like a major election to end the legal gangsterism, right? This candidate named Weinstein is trying to end all of this. She's anti-violence, anti-gang culture. And she's running against Mayor Serrano of the city, who secretly runs the Serrano family that actually runs all of Manhattan, most of New York. At the same time, there's a major assassination attempt on both of the major houses in Brooklyn, on the Klan and the Syndicate. And everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. And Yamamoto and Hassan, they're trying not to go to war because they realize, like, someone's playing them both, Someone's trying to trigger a war. And that's sort of the mystery of it. That's most of the major first part of this first season. There's also these characters that run a tea shop. These two women, Amy D and Alana, who at night are actually the bulletproof tiger and the fox. And they go around killing gangsters at night. There's like so many characters and all this stuff. And in the end, you find out the person trying to trigger the war is this real estate developer named Pete Tolan, because what he's trying to do is start a war to mess up real estate prices so that he and Serrano can gentrify Brooklyn. So a lot of things going on, but also Weinstein wins the election, which is not good for them either. A lot of different moving parts, like Game of Thrones. Ultimately, I wanted to make a fantasy world where it's a bunch of people of color. It's just like when you do that with swords and sorcery and stuff, it just feels like you're pigeonholing minorities into Western European fantasy worlds. And in order to create a world where I can just like call my own, I felt like I had to make it from whole cloth. And that's why it's this alternate Earth and all these different rules.